Hi Flosstube, I'm Rachel, Stitchy Rach, here on Flosstube and on Instagram. It's Monday the 21st of November and this is a YouTube channel about cross stitch. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about cross stitch and what I've been up to with my stitching. Welcome if it's your first time here, and very big welcome back if you come and listen regularly. I'm sorry about the lighting today. It is the morning, but it's so grey and dark outside that I've had to put the lights on, so I hope we're not going to struggle too much with colour today, but it is what it is. I'm a bit off schedule, and I missed a week, and then I don't usually film on a Monday, but life's been a bit hectic over the last few weeks, and a few things have happened, so I'm not going to talk about, but yeah, it just wasn't the time a week ago to film, so yeah, that's that. But certainly if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that it's been a big stitchy 3 weeks, even if obviously I haven't been here on Flosstube. So today I have a finish to show you. I have a really big finish to show you that I am so happy about, and you'll see that in a minute. I've got a couple of whips. I have a lot of plans to talk to you about. I've been really starting to think about, in earnest, 2023. And also, you know, the last, what are we, 5 weeks of the year is there left? 5 weeks of the year. So really what I want to get done between now and the end of the year. What I want to get done next year. I have some haul, not a lot, some. And so hopefully this won't be too long. And yeah, if the lighting is really dodgy, hopefully it won't distract you too much. But I'm sorry, I can't do anything about the grey weather in Britain at the moment. It feels like it's been grey for weeks. Hold on. So, without further ado, shall we get into some stitching? So as I say, I finished my Bouncing Babies ABC. I finished it 5 days ago. I think 5 days ago. I'd have to go and check the exact date. But about 5 days ago, I put the very last stitches into it, which was just unbelievably satisfying. There have been times over the last year where I just thought it was never ever going to be finished. I started Bouncing Babies ABC on the 17th of February 2019, so it's just over 3.5 years old. I came into this year with 12 blocks left to do, and so a real goal of whether I can just do 1 block a month. It will be done by the end of the year, and it was getting to the point where if it's not done now, my daughter's just going to be way too old to put it in her room. So I've done it. I've done it with 1 month to spare. There were times this year, particularly, I think when I finished the Peanuts in July, and there was still a lot of blocks left to do at that point. I think there was still 7 or 8, like a lot more than there were months in the year anyway. And I was just like, I don't think this is going to happen. But it has, and I'm really pleased. If you haven't been here before, this piece is huge. It is, do some quick maths, 400 stitches wide by 480 stitches high. It is humongous. It's on 36 count white Edinburgh linen. It's a pattern by Lucy Heaton, which you can download from her website, which I will link below. And I've stitched it in all the called for DMC. The reason I'm not wrestling with it here is I have taken a separate film of it. Please bear with it because I had to pin it up because the weather's so rubbish outside. I couldn't do what I did with the Peanuts and put it on the washing line. So I have put it on the clothes source in the spare room. So it's as good as I can get it for the size of piece, but hopefully it gives you a chance to see it in all its glory, and I will insert that video here. Hi everyone, here it is, my massive finish. I know it's not perfect, but because it's so dismal outside, I couldn't work out how else to show you this to you. So this is currently pinned to my clothes horse in my spare room. That door to the left is just a cupboard. And just to the right is where I film my Flosstube. Okay, so this is it. It is done. I absolutely love it. I haven't washed or ironed it yet. That's to be done this week, and then it's going to head off to my framers. But I absolutely love it. So there you can see it in all its glory. And I'm going to zoom in now and show you each square individually. So there's the first corner. For this one, this is the only block I customised. So it should have 3 lines of capital letters like the other corner blocks. But I took out the middle and personalised it with my youngest name and the word alphabet. I've just covered up her name just for privacy reasons. And then we move into the letters. That apple is awesome. I think that apple was the thing that attracted me to this pattern. Although it is an absolute beast. It was an absolute beast to stitch. It took forever. B for boat. C for cake. That cake, whilst being massive, didn't take that long to stitch because it's mainly blocks of colour, unlike the apple, which is a lot of confetti. And I found that, so I'm just going to move, hopefully not wiggle you too much. I found that with this pattern a lot, that the confetti blocks took much longer than big blocks that were all colour. And then we're in the other corner. I'm going to do typewriter. I'm going to go down to D. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too fast. I hope that didn't make anyone sick. As I say, it does curl around the frame a bit, so it's not perfect, but there you go. D for duck. E for egg. And again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that that egg took forever as well. I felt like I laid it personally. Across to frog. And guitar. And house. So this year I had 12 squares left on this at the beginning of the year, so I hoped I could finish it because one a month. And I did the top line and the bottom line and guitar and house. So guitar and house was stitched during 2022. Here you go. There's I for ice cream, J for jug, K for kite. And jug and kite, oh, is it jug and kite? Yeah, jug and kite and orange and pig are the squares that have been stitched longest, I think, on this. So I probably just tipped you a bit there. I'm trying to be as steady as I can. It's really hard because I'm having to hold the camera rather than be on a tripod. There's ladybird, mittens. Down to the start of the next row, you've got N is for night. I love that. That's another one of my favourite blocks on here. It's beautiful. O is for orange. Another one that did take forever. And at one point looked like Pac-Man. Because I ended up with where the stalk attaches done. But then there's like a mouth shape here and he looked like an orange Pac-Man. P is for pig. That is where I started. 3.5 years ago. P is for pig. That's where it all started. Q is for queen. R is for rabbit. It's a cute rabbit. It's a cute rabbit. And then down we go to S is for shoes. T is for teddy bear. U is for umbrella. V for violin. W for whistle. And then the bottom row, which has all been stitched this year as well. It's that corner block. X is for xylophone. Y is for a yo-yo, or is it a macaroon, or is it a burger? Z is for zebra, or Z if you're American. And then the final block, and you can just see I've just signed and dated it here. And that's that. So I will send you back. Actually, I'll zoom back out so you can have one last look at the whole thing. Sorry for the wobble, 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 wobble. There we go. And I'll send you back to the main part of the show. So, hopefully you've had a good chance to have a look at the whole piece now. I hope you love it as much as I do. The plan for that now is to just wash it, iron it, cut down the fabric on it a bit, and then get it off to my framer. Maybe you can get it done for Christmas. That would be awesome if you could, but no pressure. We're getting up against it now. So yeah. Really pleased and proud, and I absolutely love it. For all the times when I was like, oh, why have I taken this on, it's so big. I'm so glad I did. I love it, and I hope my daughter's gonna love it. And yeah, It's done now. It's done. It's done. So that is another WIP off the list. So shall we talk about my other WIPs and what else I have been stitching? So this is in a Penelope's Pocket project bag. There you go. Lots of very cool pumpkins and squashes and whatnot. Very autumnal. And appropriately in this autumnal bag I have Stacey Nash Primitives House on Pumpkin Hill Pin Keep. I've been using this as my out and about stitching piece, so those of you that have been following me for a while know that a lot of my life, I have 3 young children, is spent waiting for them while they take part in various extracurricular activities. And when I'm doing that, I like to take a piece of stitching with me. And here is where it is now. So actually I'm just going to fold this up because this, I think I found last time, this linen is extremely see-through. Okay, well, there it is. There we are. So I think I'm approaching the halfway point of the pattern in terms of the vertical, if not the halfway point of the stitching. I don't know if I am or not. So everything from here up is basically done. The 2 pumpkins, the 2 leaves, the 2 birds, the padlock, that's all done. And I'm now starting the roof of the house. So house, leaf, the rest of the kind of pumpkin stem, and this massive pumpkin at the bottom is what I have left to do. So I'm feeling good about this. I think this potentially could be a 2022 finish, which would be great to have another finish this year. I'm stitching this in all the called for, so it's stitched on 32 count Belfast linen in the colour charcoal from Zweigart, and it has 4 colours of thread in, which are all gentle arts, and they are what is called for on the chart, and I'm really loving it. I don't know if I'll turn it into a pin keep. I might frame it actually. I'll see when it's finished. I'll see. But so that's been coming out and about with me, and I love doing that. And I forgot to last week, but I always usually take a picture when I'm at my kids' swimming lesson, which at the moment is on a Wednesday. I don't tend to take one at any of the other activities because I just find that snapshot on a Wednesday shows me how much I've achieved over that week, because this does not get touched in evening stitching. It is purely what I've achieved sitting in a car, sitting in a village hall, sitting at the side of a pool. And I make really good progress, and I find that really works for me on some of the smaller projects. Obviously not everything lends themselves to being dragged around, and I was worried that this one wouldn't, because of the colour of the fabric, that the lighting wouldn't be good enough, but actually, touch wood, so far so good. So I'm very much hoping for a finish on this one in 2022 as well. That'd be great. And then I have one more WIP to show you. Since I finished the Bouncing Babies ABC that you've just seen, obviously my evening stitching became free again, and there was one goal. There is now only one goal on my WIPGO board that I haven't met, and that was to stitch for a week on cardinal points. So that's what I've started to do. To be fair, I think I've only really stitched on it 2 nights. So I must have finished Bouncing Babies ABC on Thursday. And then on Friday, I think I put a few stitches into it on Friday night, but I'm not really going to count that as a day's stitching, because it really, I think I put about 20 stitches in. We went out for dinner on Friday night at one of my neighbours' houses. So and then there was some wine. And then when I got home, I wasn't really although I did get it out, I wasn't really in a stitching mindset. Anyway, this is Cardinal Points. This is in a Rika King House of Stitch and Stash project bag. They have these handles, they're super squishy. I do own some that aren't from Penelope's Pocket. And here, if you're not familiar with it, although I'm sure many of you are, is the amazing Cardinal Points. So Cardinal Points is designed, it's a long dog sampler. It's designed by Julia Line of Long Dog Samplers, but it was designed exclusively for Gentle Arts and is charted in their threads. So the only place you can get it is a shop needs to order it wholesale from Gentle Arts. Now I know in the UK Lakeside Needlecraft definitely stock this and can definitely get it for you if they're out of stock. I'm sure probably the other local needle workshops can as well, but when I started this in January, so the 27th of January 2019. 2019 was a big start year for me. And I saw this because quite a few people were stitching it. Christine Stitch All the Things had started it, and Pam Just Keep Stitching had started it, and I really, really loved it, and I wanted to stitch it, and I couldn't find it anywhere in the UK. And so I got in touch with Kate at Lakeside and said, can you get this? You have to get it from Gentle Arts, so you have to get it wholesale. And she did, and she'd never stocked it before, but she went and she got it for me. And then I think, I wasn't doing Flosstube then, but I think some of the other people that were stitching it shouted out that you could get it from Kate at Lakeside, so she ordered some more. And I don't think she's ever had it out of stock since then. So yeah, you can definitely get it at Lakeside, and that's why I'm giving them a shout out, because she was the person that got it for me when I wanted to start this. Anyway, so I got this out Friday night, but properly looked at it on Saturday. And I was a bit horrified, because as I say, this is coming up to its 4th birthday in January. And I thought I had more of this done, and I do. But I don't. I have about a quarter of it done. So here is where it's quite a big piece of fabric. I keep thinking I'm going to cut it down because there's a lot more fabric than I need, so I'm just going to, there's a needle flapping around there. Here is where it is. That's not good, is it? That is not good for a piece that's nearly 4 years old. It's basically just a quarter of it done. So since I picked it up, I've just been going along that bottom border, so I haven't done loads, it must be said. They haven't been stellar stitching nights. I think I've got that feeling, you know, after you finish a really big whip and you're just a bit kind of burnt out. So I think I've done all these flowers here on this side, and then I think I've done 3 flowers there, and obviously the leaves associated with them. That green leaf in the middle was there, but I hadn't finished all the flowers to one side of it for some reason. I don't know if last time I picked it up I was just going along in that green. I can't remember, because I haven't even touched this since November last year. I went back and I had a look as to when this actually got any attention. It got about a week stitching in November last year. So obviously I'm going to give it a week now, and I'll see how I feel about it. After that I might carry on with it, I might not. I do feel, having, you know, finished those 2 big goals I wanted to finish this year, I do feel that I want to dot around a little bit more than I have been with my whips, but yeah, that's where it is. That is where it is. This is stitched on 36 count white linen by Zweigart, and it's with all the called for Gentle Arts, which are amazing. Now they are not showing well. I knew the lighting was going to be a problem today. I knew that it's quite a yellow light in here, and they're not showing well at all. I wonder if I hold the fabric behind them, they may show a bit better. Not really, they're still looking a bit orangey. But they are really, really beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning colour palette, and hopefully going to be seeing more of this one over the next weeks and the next year. So there'll be another chance to see a better representation of that colour palette. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to stick with this until, definitely till Friday. So that'll be my stitching in the evenings all this week, and then on Saturday I'll see how I am feeling and as to whether I carry on with that or I switch it up. I'm going to try and stick with House on Pumpkin Hill as my out and about until it's done. There's kind of how many weeks left of school stuff. It's about 5 weeks till the end of the year, and how many weeks of... So this coming weekend's what, the 26th, the following weekend's 3rd, 10th. So there's 4 weeks of term time left, including this week we're in. So I think that could be doable. I think that could be doable. Now obviously once we're in the holidays, the out and about stops, so less chance, and obviously I'm busier. And does anyone else not feel ready for Christmas? I am not ready for Christmas. It's kind of a little bit horrifying that it's December next week. I think I've bought 2 Christmas presents. 2 Christmas presents. It's my husband's birthday between Christmas and New Year. I've done nothing about that whatsoever. I haven't started any of my Christmas cooking. I haven't made my mincemeat. I have not made my Christmas cake. I have ordered a turkey because I went to my butcher's on Friday and I was like, what's the deal with turkeys? And he said, once they're gone, they're gone. So I ordered it on the spot because I know exactly what I need turkey wise. And I said, I'll just get the rest to you later. And he said, that's fine. But yeah, I don't feel ready. I'm going to have to focus the mind this week. In fact, I'm going to go do some online shopping this afternoon for some of the kids' Christmas presents and whatnot. But I am not, yeah, it doesn't usually sneak up on me quite as badly as this. I'm not going to be saying I'm one of those people that is like ready in July. But this year, I don't know, it's just, yeah, just come upon me before I was ready. Which leads me on to plans. Oh, I haven't put the chart back in the thing and I'll be swearing about that. Like, where's that chart gone? Just stick that back in there. Right, which leads me on to plans. So, my plans for my Flosstube. I am going to attempt to do Flossmas this year. Now, this is a big shout, given I can't usually stick to my 2-weekly schedule. But I thought there was more chance because there's so much over Christmas that I thought if I just do a little bit every day, I am more likely to do it than if I have to sit down and kind of do a 40-minute video. So, and part of the reason I'm going to do Flossmas is I have 3 advent calendars. I went a bit bonkers at various times this year. So I have the Patchwork Rabbit advent calendar, which is going to be hopefully lots of lovely cross-stitchy things. And then I have 2 wool advent calendars, which, you know, given how much I knit, is might be a bit excessive. So I have 3 advent calendars to open, and I hope to be able to kind of show you my progress on my WIP. So I probably won't do a proper Flosstube for the whole of December, and I don't intend to be buying things with 3 advent calendars, so there won't be any haul. She says there won't be any haul. Yeah, so 3 advents and some stitching, and I think that should be enough to, you know, make kind of a 10-minute drop in every day. So I'm going to attempt that. We'll see how it goes. But obviously I don't want the first Flossmas to have to be a super long kind of proper Flosstube. So I'm going to try and film again next Monday, which I know is completely off any routine that I've ever managed to establish. But so a week today I hope to do another Flosstube, and then there'll only be kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday evening stitching, and then Tuesday, Wednesday between that and doing the first Flossmas video. So then hopefully that first one won't be too onerous. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan for that. So we'll see how that goes. And then other plans. So WIPGO, as I said, I have nearly finished my WIPGO board. So if I stitch on cardinal points to Friday, that is my WIPGO board. Finito bonito for the year. I have never ever in my life completed my WIPGO board, and this is she's like never ever in her life, like she's been doing her whole life. This is the 3rd year I've done WIPGO. So I did it in 2020, failed abysmally. I think I filled in less than half the board. I did it in 2021. I think I had 4 squares that weren't completed, so not bad. And this year I'm going to black out the entire board. So feel really good about that, and I'll also have got that done in November. So December is, you know, my own. I have achieved all the plans I wanted to achieve, stitchy plans I wanted to achieve, not life plans, not even slightly the life plans, but all the stitchy plans I wanted to achieve in 2022. For once, I have hit those goals. So I'm kind of, my time is my own in December, so I'm kind of playing with that because I haven't felt that for a while. There are no WIPs in my WIP pile that are for someone else, which is a nice feeling actually. I don't feel an obligation to stitch on anything, and that is a very nice feeling to have. If I do complete my WIPGO board, which I'm going to, if I can't between now and the end of December do a week on cardinal points, and something's gone very wrong in my life, and I am going to treat myself to quite a big treat because I've never done that before, and I'll probably never manage to do it again. So we'll see. If I do manage to do it next year, I won't give myself such a big treat. So that's that. That's WIPGO. WIPGO is basically nearly done. So by the time I see you, this time next week, WIPGO will be done. My second plan is Whips Be Gone. So I've spoken to you about this before. I'm taking part in hashtag Whips Be Gone 2022 from Leanne, the Devoted Quilter. Now, obviously, ticked off Bouncing Babies ABC. So that was one of them. I'm going to hopefully finish House on Pumpkin Hill. If I finish that before the Out and About stitching finishes, I think I'm going to have a rifle through my whips and see what could potentially be a finish this year as well. I don't think I've got loads that could potentially be a finish this year, but I am going to I'm going to have a bit of a look. So yeah, maybe on Monday next week, if I have chance, if I've had a chance to go through my whips before then, I will pull out the ones that I think have a chance of being finished next year, although there might not be that many. I don't think there are that many. Well, I'll have a look. I'll have a look through it. If I think that's worth doing, we'll do that. But yeah, I'm going to try and finish. If there I can't get words out today. If there is anything that potentially could be in the finished pile before we go into 2023, let's get that done. Oh, that was one other thing I thought I might do on Flosstube. I have a drawer full of finishes that are just sat there. They've never had anything done with them. They've had no finishing. They're literally just sat there. So I thought maybe on my Flossmas I could show a few of those each day. So let me know in the comments if you'd like that. Some of them are really old. Some of them are things I stitched as a teenager, which makes them like 30 years old, some of them. Is that right? Can I do maths today? Am I that old? Yeah, it can. Hold on. No, like 25 years old. 25 to 30 years old, some of them. So let me know. Anyway, so they're not things I would necessarily stitch now. I was very much a kit stitcher, so some of them are a bit random. So let me know if you'd like to see those anyway. And then more plans. So what do I want to talk about first? Two other things I'm definitely going to start between now and the new year. So I know I've spoken a lot about finishing things, but there are two things I really want to start. I want to start the next square of the 12 days of Christmas that I've been working on, because I do want all those as ornaments. So I'm going to start 4 calling birds. That might be my Christmas Day start, so that might not happen soon. I quite like to stitch on something Christmassy, and by the end of Christmas Day when I've cooked, because we host people here, so by the time I've cooked and I've like sat with the kids and opened everything and I just kind of sit down, I usually get about 3 stitches in and I know, done, I'm done. But I might do that. I'll have to pull all the threads, and so I think it might be my Christmas Day start. And Boxing Day in our house is super lazy. There is no cooking happening in my house on Boxing Day. And then the other thing I want to start between now and the new year and get a substantial bit of stitching done is I want to do a temperature cell. I've always wanted to do a temperature cell, but never really felt I had the time because I've had so many other stitching goals I needed to get done. But this year I want to do a temperature cell. So I'm going to do the temperature tree from Stitching Mommy. I will link her Etsy shop below. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's been all over Instagram. It's a few years old now. I will bring it next time to show you. I'm not going to try and insert a picture. I will bring it next time, and because my printer hasn't got any ink in at the moment, otherwise I'd have printed it off. But I will bring it next time to show you. So they're the two things I want to start before next year. I want to whip down a bit before next year. Then the other thing I talked about last time as well, so if you want to hear my whole spiel about it, is go back to my last video. But as I spoke about in the last video, I don't really want any new starts next year. It's not super strict, but I just want to focus on the whips I have. And I've decided that the hashtag for that is going to be WIP, as in Works in Progress, WIP. WIP Love 2023, I'll put that here. Make sure you put WIP, WIP. I wouldn't want to suggest you Google WIP with an H Love 2023. That might be a whole different thing. But yeah, WIP Love 2023 is going to be my no pressure version of no new start and just making some really solid progress on my WIPs. And then the final thing I wanted to talk to you about is hashtag Big Birthday Sale 2023. Sorry, I keep looking down there. I've got my notes and I want to make sure I say everything correctly. So hashtag Big Birthday Sale 2023. Now, I have a big birthday next year. I am 40. And there are quite a few people who are my Instagram friends who have big birthdays next year as well. And the first one of those is Sarah, who is, I'm going to put it down here because she's basically cross-stitch SJW, but there are some letters missing, so I'll put it down here. Go follow her on Instagram. So it's her big birthday. She's got a big birthday next year as well. We don't all have the same big birthday, but we've all got a birthday ending in 0. And hers is in January, and she is going to start a full coverage piece. So go and have a look at what she's got planned. I know Stitchy Sally's going to take part because she's got a big birthday next year. I know Jenny Wilson is going to take part. She is Jenny 1676 on Instagram. And so if you've got a big birthday next year and you would like to join us, please feel free to do so. It's not exclusive. If you have a big birthday you'd like to celebrate with a big start, we're not all starting on the same day, we're all starting on our own birthdays. So Sarah's the first one, she's in January. I'm not till September. I know what I'm going to start, but I haven't kitted it yet. So you don't have to be ready to go in January, you just need to be ready to go by your birthday, whenever that is. And if you don't have a big birthday next year, but you would like to support us, please feel free to use the hashtag. We're not exclusive. Come along, come and join us on our big birthday sales in 2023. We would absolutely love that, all of us. And if you also have a big birthday, let us know. It'd be great. Sharing the fun. Whew, that was a lot of plans. That was a lot of plans. Yeah, I said I had a lot of plans, didn't I? I have a lot of plans. Let's see if I can keep to them all. Ha 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 ha. Right, I'm nearly done. I am nearly done. I've got, yeah, I have a little bit of haul. What shall I show you? You've all seen this, right? So this is the last in my auto ship that I got through Peakside Needleworks of the Cottage Garden sampling. Is that right? Cottage Garden samplings, Year in the Woods. The reindeer was the last part. I've only started the fox so far. I have seen their 12-part auto ship for next year, which is the snowmen. I don't know if I want to stitch 12 snowmen. I might just buy ones that appeal to me. I haven't signed up for an auto ship for it, and I wasn't feeling the love enough to sign up for an auto ship on it, so I haven't done that. My classic Colourworks Thread Club from Lakeside Needleworks came. I'll try and show you this, but as we've already established, the lighting's a bit dodgy in here today. We'll see how we get on. Hickory sticks. Who doesn't know hickory sticks? We've got hollyberry, and that is showing a lot more red than it is. It's got a pinker tone in real life. Honeycomb, that's pretty true, but it's yellow, so it's working with the yellow light. House wine, that is more purpley than it's showing. Hydrangea, that's showing pretty true. Stop focusing on me, focus on the blooming. Let me see if I can get a piece of paper. Let me see if I can get something white. Oh, hold on, I've got a bit of felt here. There we go, that'll work. Bit of cream coloured felt. Got Jakey Brown. There you go, that's showing pretty true. Jelly Roll. Yeah, that's showing pretty true. Jolly Holly. See, they knew it was Christmas as well. I've had two talking about hollies. Yeah, that's pretty good. Heatherly. Yeah, you can see the variegation there. And hazelnut. That's quite a nice brown, that hazelnut. Yeah. Right, and finally, it wouldn't be my Flosstube without some Penelope's Pocket Project bags. So this is the new project bag that Sarah has. I can't what's it called, Sarah? All her products have girls' names. Is it Dorothy? Might be the Dorothy. Anyway, if you go onto her website, you'll see some of these. And you see those foxes there? So cute. Love it. It's got some rabbits on it as well. It's got a great lining in it. Haven't put anything in it yet, but I'm going to put my fox from the Year in the Woods, Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series. There is a fox ring thing there. I don't know if it will focus if I bring it closer, but it is a fox in there, which I got as well. And then I also got from Sarah another Gertrude, which these are the big bags that you can use for like knitting projects, or at the moment it's just got my little Elsie, which is another Penelope pocket product. But yeah, she's got my little Elsie in there at the moment. It's got a great lining, but I love these. They're particularly good for knitting project bags as well, but you can also, they all fit Sarah's project bags in them perfectly as well for like storage. So yeah, and that's it. That is all I have got. So I will see you in theory in a week's time for a kind of normal floss tube before we kick off Flossmas, and we'll see how that goes. But until next time I see you, take care, Stitchers. Bye.